Angeline Ong, and welcome to your look ahead to Thursday, the 7th of March. Now, the whole week, it's pretty much a countdown to what Powell says, and of course, that US jobs report on Friday. But on Thursday, we have trade surplus figures out of Australia. The trade surplus expected to widen to $11.5 billion in January. Also, watch out for trade numbers out of China. Surplus there to widen to $107 billion in the January to February period. Exports also seen rising 2.5% year on year. Imports set to rise 2% year on year. And in the UK, we've got the Halifax house price data expectations for February, 1% month on month, 2.3% year on year. It's been a tough time for the UK housing markets, but there are some chinks of light coming through. House builders, though, still saying it's going to be a tricky 2024. In the Eurozone, the key thing will be the European Central Bank decision on interest rates. Bank largely seen keeping its main refinancing rate unchanged at 4.5%. The deposit facility rate and marginal lending are also, this is the rate, also forecast to stay unchanged at 4% and 4.75% respectively. Just having a look at the euro versus the US dollar, and we have seen a reversal of trend here. If I draw this trend line for you, those wicks touching there in the upward trend line. If I can maneuver this, it's a bit tricky. However, two touches are tentative and a third will be a confirmation. So we're still waiting on that third touch, if I may. So this is your first and that is your second. But what's also interesting is comments coming out from the ECB. Christine Lagarde, the president, saying that Q4 wage numbers have been encouraging, and the governing council needs to be more confident that the deflationary process that they are observing will be sustainable and will take them to the 2% medium-term target. Joachim Nagel, Bundesbank president, said in February that even though it may be very tempting, he thinks it's still too early to cut interest rates. Now, in the US, we've got the trade balance figures and initial jobless claims, but really Jerome Powell is the big ticket. He speaks later on Wednesday evening. However, it's a two-day special. He also speaks on Thursday. Look out for anything he says on the state of the economy, the soft landing, and prospects for inflation, which have been sticky. A key component of the speech that we are looking out for as well is any comments about the resilience in the US job market, because this will help the Fed basically stay its hand if it wants to continue pausing on any interest rate cut yet. In the UK, we've got full year numbers as well from Aviva, ITV, and also Page Group. And we've also got Costco reporting second quarter numbers out of the US, and Broadcom and Gap as well. I'd like to just show you Gap's chart, because there is a gap in the gap right here. If I show you where my arrow is. And that actually happened when, if my memory serves me correctly, when Gap's shares surged more than 30% after an upbeat quarter helped investors feel a bit more cheerful about the stock. Gap, though, has been, if I widen out this chart for you, has been, coming through a rather tricky period. And as you can see here from around May 2022, it's really wallowed in that sort of narrow trend channel. I'm going to try and draw that for you with my red lines there, before breaking out of that channel on November 17th, where my green arrow is, where its upbeat results, these are the quarterly results, helped its shares jump 30%. And that's it for now. For more market moving news, I'll be back on Beat the Street at 13:30 London time to give you a heads up to the US trading day, and IG's Jeremy Naylor will be on at 7:30 on early morning call ahead of the European market open. Follow me on Twitter at Angeline Ong. This is IGTV.